We all love a good bubble bath and a scented candle, yes please. But here's the thing, if all that me time isn't actually helping you feel more connected, it might be time to look a little deeper. Our next guest says self-care is great, but self-love is where the real magic happens. Human connection expert Barb Betts is the author of The Relationship Advantage: Unlock the Life-Changing Power of Human Connection. Barb, it's good to have you. Thanks for joining us today.
I am so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. Okay, so self-care is everywhere right now. I mean, I hear it all the time, and it's even become commercialized, but you're making a distinction between self-care and self-love. So what's the real difference?
Right? You talked about self-care is bubble baths, getting our nails done, taking care of ourselves, or what we think is taking care of ourselves. Where I reframe this conversation is that self-love is about loving the most important relationship you will ever have, the one you have with yourself. And in my opinion, it's the one we neglect the most.
Yes, it's so easy to do that. And on top of that, kind of neglecting ourselves, like you mentioned, why do so many of us still feel burned out and disconnected even when we're checking off all those self-care boxes?
Right? It's being disconnected from who you really are. I always say you can't bubble bath your way out of a life that doesn't feel aligned. You can't bubble bath your way or take care of yourself in a way that's going to fix this disconnection that you feel inside. So I believe it's the disconnection with ourselves that we have to fix first.
Yes, and one thing that I think a lot of us do as well too is kind of that comparing our lives to others. So how does comparison culture affect our relationship with ourselves?
Oh, comparison. We're all guilty of it, right?
Yeah.
We're all guilty of this. And there's the famous saying, comparison's the thief of joy.
Mm.
And I actually believe that comparison is the thief of authenticity. And the second we're comparing ourselves to someone else, we're stealing our own authenticity away, which is why I like to teach people that instead of comparing yourself to someone else, turn that comparison into curiosity. Because there's something about them that you admire and that you value. And
Yeah.
how can you use that version of them to inspire you to pull that authenticity out of yourself?
Oh, okay. So Barb, for someone watching who's stuck in that self-doubt, they're kind of aware of it. What's one step they can take today to start kind of shifting that?
Yeah, the biggest thing I think is we have to stop hiding who we really are. Right? When we hide who we are, we limit who we can become. So
Mm.
it's at first identifying who you really are inside, and then it's reframing authenticity. We get authenticity wrong. We think authenticity is about doing something or being somebody. That's why the statement, just be yourself, doesn't work for me. And so the number one thing I want you to do is view authenticity as not doing anything, but undoing everything that isn't you.
Oh, I like what you said. When you're hiding who you are, you're refraining from who you can become. I'm going to remember that now. That's a good one. And
Yeah.
I want to touch
Yeah.
on your book too, because your book is called The Relationship Advantage, and it's about connection with others. But you keep coming back to self-love. So how does doing that internal work actually change the way we relate to the people in our own lives?
Well, first of all, when you show up real, relatable, and human, in my opinion, that's the foundation of human connection. And so when you go first, then you build these real, transparent human relationships with others. And then when we build these effective relationships with others, it leads to all these impacts in our life. It changes sales, it changes leadership, it changes community. And the book also ends with ultimately how relationships are the legacy that we leave behind.
Wow. And then Barb, any final tips for our viewers to incorporate a little bit more self-love?
Loving yourself first. When you truly love who you are and choose to show up as them in the world, that's when you're going to change not only your life, but the others around you.
All right, we're going to take that advice to heart. Barb, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to let our viewers know where they can go for a little bit more information. To our viewers, for a more meaningful framework rooted in self-love, authenticity, and relational confidence, check out barbbetts.com.